my fellow realtors who are trying to increase the price of a property to their client, or who had already increased the price of a property to their clients. If the actual price is 2.5 million naira or more, and you're trying to increase the value of a 2.5 million naira property to 4 million naira property to a client simply because you want to get the deal and earn a commission. I'm going to be sharing a true life story. Yes, I'm going to be sharing a true life story so you can learn from this experience. This is a true life story, and if you want to listen to what I have for us today, all you have to do is to subscribe to our channel, share, watch the very end of this video because you're going to learn a lot from this. So if you're ready, I am ready. Let's get right into it. Okay, so I had a friend who reached out to me telling me that if I have a client that wants to get a property that she already sold to a client. Now, this happened last year. She sold the property last year, and this year the client is coming back to resell his property. He's looking for a way to resell the property because he wants to use the money for something else. That is why it is important that you get a land for yourself because land appreciates and it can actually help you in so many ways. But we're not talking about the importance of land now. We're talking about something that can ruin your life, that can land you into trouble if you do not avoid it. And I'm going to state this in a clear way, in a precise way, that you are going to understand it. So she sold a property to a client, and that year the actual price of the property was 2.2 million naira. It was 2.2 million naira, but she sold at the price of 4 million naira to the client. And guess what? The client bought two plots of land. The client bought two plots of land for 8 million naira. A property that was sold for 2.2 million naira as the actual price, and she sold two plots for 8 million naira. She enjoyed the commission. Now, the reality check has happened. What is going on? The client said he wants to sell one of the property because he needs the money for something else. And she's looking for who is going to buy the property for 4 million naira or more. And obviously, I don't think the client will be willing to sell the property for 4 million naira because he bought it at 4 million naira. He should have a return on investment, right? So, this is why I am saying this, and I'm going to say this categorically. If you're selling a property to a client, you need to be honest. You need to have the attributes of integrity in anything you're doing, especially in the real estate firm. Because any mistake that you make, you're going to answer for it. You're going to really, really answer for it. Now, she's reaching out to me to help her market the property so we can sell it at 7 million naira. I told her I will never do that. I will never do that. And the worst of it is that that place has not even appreciated. Hi, what's your name? Oh my god, I wish I can pronounce your name. Yenti. Oh my god, I can't pronounce your name. But good morning. Thank you for joining my life. And please do it to subscribe to our channel and ensure you share so other persons can learn from this. This is a true life story. Probably I'm not being too serious about it, but this is very, very important, especially for realtors. I know most of us are trying to look for ways to get good commissions, right? But that is not the point. That is not the end point. If you have not satisfied your client, you have not made any sale. Yes, you have not made any sale. If your client is not satisfied, if your client cannot refer you, if your clients cannot give testimonies about you, you've not made a sale. And that is why I usually encourage people to buy properties from reputable real estate companies rather than investing with individuals, especially agents. We have local agents and we have professional real estate consultants, and consultants are mostly working with a real estate company, right? So I would indulge you, I would advise you to invest real estate with reputable real estate companies. There are lots of real estate companies in the world, but I'm currently residing in Nigeria, precisely Imo State. There are lots of real estate companies in Imo State, reputable ones, right? Work with real estate companies, not with individuals. Because when you get properties from individuals, you're if you don't know the process, you are at high chance of risking your ownership. So, but I'm not here to talk about all those things. I do not want to digress. I really want to make sure that we all understand it. And secondly, when a realtor tells you the price of the property is this, or the price of the property is 2.5 million naira, it is your duty to make your due diligence. Find out if the realtor is actually saying the truth. Because most realtors, will I say, they are not learned, they do not have the knowledge, right? They just do things because they want the commission. Now she wants to resell the property, and there is no way the client will be willing to resell his land for 4 million naira. He bought this property was selling for 2.2 million naira, but the realtor sold it to him at 4 million naira, which is times two of what the actual price is. And now he wants to resell the property. It's barely a year he got the property and he wants to resell it. Tell me, do you think, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, what did my lips do to you? You're not even listening to what I'm talking about. And you're talking about my lips. Some persons talk about my nose, and today you're talking about my lips. So, what do you want to do with my lips instead of listening to what I'm talking about? Tell me, I'm listening. Jad, Jad, if that's your name, if I pronounce it correctly. But please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Please, I'm just at 96 subscribers. I really want to get to 100 subscribers this week. Help me to get to 100 subscribers. I am begging you. If you're watching this video right now, I am begging you to help me get to 100 subscribers. It will give me joy. It will give me joy that my work is really paying for me, and I am not stressing myself coming out here to hi Anaya. Anaya, did I pronounce your name correctly? Please tell me in the comment section. Anaya, hi, good morning. Please, can you subscribe to my channel? I really want to get subscribers, just 100 subscribers. Please, I am begging us, help me get to 100 subscribers. It will give me the courage and encouragement to continue doing what is good and what is right. So, in today, I'm talking about realtors being honest and having the attributes of integrity when dealing with clients. Instead of telling the clients that the property of 2.5 million naira is 5 million naira, just tell the clients the truth. Instead of working for commission, work for relationship, work for referrals, work for integrity. So that's basically what I'm talking about. And I know a lot of clients are victims of this. Yes. A lot of clients are victims of being misled by realtors. And this is me telling clients that if a realtor tells you the price of a property, your duty is to make your due diligence, is to confirm if the property is genuine, if the price is actually the real price that they told you. Instead of being too overwhelmed and going ahead to payment, make your own due diligence. And again, for someone like me, I would actually recommend you work with a reputable real estate company rather than investing with an individual who doesn't really know and have the knowledge of how real estate works. I would rather implore you to invest with real estate companies because they will tell you the truth and they will walk you through. Now, another disadvantage of working with individuals, I'm not saying you shouldn't work with individuals, but there are disadvantages and there are also advantages of working with them. And these are one of the disadvantages of working with them because they want the commission. they want extra money. And remember, most individuals are actually not the ones looking for clients. They have agents who work with them, or agents who reached out to them, or they reaching out to some agents that they really want to sell their property. And the agents will ask for the price of the property. The property might be worth 2.2 million naira or 2 million naira for an example, and they will go ahead to tell the clients that the property is actually 4 million naira. Meanwhile, the property is 2.2 million naira. Now, when they get back to the owner, who is an individual, the owner will be willing, as long as the client is also ready to make payments. But if you're working with a real estate company, they're going to give you terms and conditions, and they're going to remove themselves from any future problems that may arise. You are going to bear the consequences if you refuse to listen, because most real estate companies do not encourage that attitude. They do not encourage it. So if you're doing that, if you refuse to listen and go ahead to selling the property of 2.2 million naira to 4 million naira, you're going to bear the future problems by yourself. So that's basically what I am here to talk about, because I've seen that most realtors are victims of this, and if no one is talking about it, it's gonna continue happening over and over and over again. While clients are losing money, losing their investments, realtors will keep getting into trouble. Most times, the client might not really have the opportunity to see the realtor again, thereby losing his investment. So if you're watching this video right now, kindly subscribe to our channel and make sure you share this video, because it's very, very important. So I'll be waiting for your questions. If you have any questions to ask me, kindly drop them in the comments. For those joining right now, I don't really know what to say, but if you have any question, kindly drop them in the comment section. I'll be ready to answer all of them. So I want to ask you, have you been in a situation whereby the realtor told you the price of a property is 5 million, but you discovered that the real price of the property is below the price that the realtor told you? Have you been in such situation before? I would like to get that in the comment section. I would like to hear from you. If you've been in a situation whereby the realtor told you that the price of the property is higher than the actual price, after your investigations, you realize that the price of this property is actually higher than what the realtor told me. So, if you're in such situation, how would you react? What would be your first step? What would you do? What would you do? I'm listening. I really want to answer that question. If you're in a situation whereby your realtor told you the price of this property is 5 million, but you discover that the price of that property is 2 million naira, how would you react? What would you do? But remember, you had already made payments. You've made payments for the land. Yes, you've made payments for the land, only to realize that the price of this property is not actually 5 million naira. That means you paid 3 million more. Ah, 3 million more, extra 3 million for a price for a property worth 2 million naira. But because of greediness made the realtor or the agent to sell the property to you for 5 million naira. Meanwhile, the property was supposed to be sold for 2 million naira, just 2 million naira. And now you're looking for ways to resell the property because you had an emergency that requires some amounts of money that you don't really have at hand, and the only way to get the capital in solving that situation was to resell your property. It's barely 1 year that you got the property. Now, how are you able to resell that same land that worth 2 million naira, but you got it for 5 million naira? How are you able to resell the property and still get returns on your investment? How are you going to do that? When people talk about due diligence, it's not extorting, it's not clouting, no. It's not clouting. When people talk about due diligence, it's not clouting. It's an avenue for you to make your research. Yes, due diligence in anything you're doing, especially with real estate, is very, 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 very pertinent. I don't want to use the word important because I feel like importance is a word that has been used all the time. Oh my God, louder! He said louder. Okay, I'm going to make it even more louder. Due diligence is very, very, very pertinent. But don't forget to subscribe to our channel, like, and share. Due diligence is very, 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 very pertinent. Very pertinent when investing in real estate. So I'm not here to tell you to just invest in real estate because we know that real estate can actually outline you, not just for you, but generations after you. But there is need for you to do your due diligence to avoid losing claims and ownership to your property. And most importantly, having peace of mind. I feel so sorry for this particular client. I feel so sorry for him. And I feel so ashamed of my friend who did this to the client. In anything you're doing, you need to have the attribute of integrity. Integrity will always pave way for you. Maybe not now, but later. Integrity. Integrity is important. Integrity is important. So, my question is, if a realtor or an agent tells you that a property worth 2 million naira is 5 million naira, without you doing your due diligence, you go ahead to make the payment. Then later on, you find out that that property you bought for 5 million naira, meaning extra 3 million more, extra 3 million. What would you do? How would you react? What would be your answer? How would you react to that situation? And remember, you actually want to sell the property to solve some life issues and challenges. That's where importance of real estate comes in. So land is actually a good thing to invest, right? So how would you react towards that? How would you react towards it? I feel so bad. I feel so bad that so many realtors are extorting from clients. But so at the same time, somehow I don't really feel so sorry for them because I feel like they are not smart investors. They are kind of being gullible. That's where knowledge comes in. Knowledge is not just for the realtor to understand what he or she is bringing out. The product, which is the land that you're selling, is not only about having the knowledge of the land you're selling or the product you're giving out to your audience. It is also important for the buyer, who is the client, to understand the products he or she is willing to invest. And how do you understand the products that you want to invest? It's simply by having your due diligence. Without rushing. If you're sure, you're very sure that you really want to invest in this property, in this location, you want to invest in it. The only thing you can do for yourself to avoid future problems is having your due diligence, making your due diligence. I had a client recently. I have been following up with the client, and he assured me that he was going to get the property. I didn't rush him. In as much as I was trying to keep up the follow up so that he doesn't slip away and go to the next realtor, do you know the reason why he hesitated to invest in? He was taking his time to make his due diligence. In as much as he trusted me, he has seen my work online, he took his time to make his due diligence. Mm, a bad habit I have. He took his time to make his due diligence. Guess what he did next? He sent someone because the client is not residing in my location, but he wants to invest in my location. The client is in America, but he wants to invest in Nigeria. What he did was that he sent someone to physically inspect the land again. He sent the person again to reconfirm and remeasure the plot size to be sure that the plot size that I told him is actually what it is. And he also asked the person to ask again what is the actual price of the property. Imagine if I had told him 2.5 million naira and I'm telling the person that he called to inspect 2 million naira. The person he actually called didn't even ask only me. He made sure he asked other people in the office to actually confirm if I was telling the truth. So imagine if I had told the clients that the place is 5 million naira. And when the person comes to the office and find out that it's actually 2.2 million naira, what do you think would happen? Do you think he's going to invest? Of course not. Of course not. He wouldn't invest because I am not truthful. There is no honesty. So this is a letter to every realtor out there that instead of working for commission, instead of pursuing commission, just be truthful to your client. Have the attribute of integrity because it's going to pave way for you. And my letter to every client out there is to seek for knowledge, is to ensure that you make your due diligence before investing in any properties. Ensure you do your due diligence because that's the only way you can be called a smart investor. That's the only way you can be sure, have peace of mind, and have claims to your ownership. Real estate has always helped a lot of people. Real estate has always been that one investment that can outline you. And the truth is, the outlining is not just for you today, it's also for your generations to come. So, the best thing you can do for yourself while investing in real estate is to take your time, do not rush, and make your due diligence. And make your due diligence. Real estate is more spiritual than we think. Very, very spiritual. So you have to take your time. You have to position yourself to avoid losing your property. So at this juncture, it's going to be the end of this live video. So kindly subscribe to our channel to get us to 100 subscribers and do well to share our videos to those who really need it because this is something that should be discussed. It's been happening and I feel so sorry for the victims of these circumstances. So do well to share our videos to people who actually need it and ensure to subscribe to our channel. See you on the next one. You're welcome. Bye. No, before I say bye, my name is Precious, the real land boss, and I am your go-to realtor. All I do in the real estate firm is to ensure individuals invest safely and profitably in real estate. See you on the next one. You're welcome.